The Cherry Creek Sports Network, in association with the Colorado High School Activity Association, is proud to bring you Colorado High School football on CCSN, presented by 303 Smiles. Tonight, it's the visiting Warriors of Arapahoe and their #1 ranked Bruins of Cherry Creek. We now welcome you into the broadcast booth to say hello, friends. I'm Benjamin Paris. My partner is Matthew Anderson, and we're happy to bring you to November Colorado High School football on CCSN. Matthew, there's only 2 weeks left in the regular season, and by the way things are looking around the league and the state for that matter, we have a pretty good look at what the playoffs will look like as we take a look at the CHSAA Top 10 and the Centennial League standings in tonight's CCSN game preview presented by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Well, Ben, as we discussed last week, qualification to the 2020 abbreviated playoff season is going to be all about which teams you can beat and which teams beat you. To determine who qualifies to the playoffs and how they are seeded, CHSAA uses a little bit of complex statistics, including a metric called RPI, max preps rankings, Packard rankings, and a coaches poll. It's a really complex system, but the bottom line is that the teams with the highest standings generally are the teams that qualify to the playoffs. That said, Arapahoe is 2-2, and that's probably not good enough to qualify them to the 2020 playoff season, because this year only 8 teams are going to qualify for the playoffs. Only teams at the very top of the game will qualify, and 2-2 just isn't good enough right now as it stands. At 4-0, Cherry Creek is still in prime position to qualify for the postseason. Eagle Crest High School is also undefeated at 4-0, and Cherry Creek will play them next week. Of course, Arapahoe played Eagle Crest High School last week. They lost 23-13, but it was a hard-fought battle. Cherry Creek did not have a hard battle last week, shutting down the talented Trailblazers of Overland 45-0.
So earlier you mentioned that the coaches poll factors into playoff selection and seeding. Now, for those of you at home, in the coaches poll, CHSAA asked the 5A football coaches for the rankings based on their expertise. Matthew, take us through this CHSAA 5A coaches poll through 4 weeks.
Well, Ben, I'm sure Creek fans are going to be excited because Cherry Creek is currently ranked #1 and pretty decisively as well. This week, all 20 of the 20 coaches who were polled for the coaches poll ranked Cherry Creek #1. Not just 1 or 2, and it was a combined score. Every single one agreed that Cherry Creek was #1. Just behind them, the esteemed teams of Valor and Columbine. Eagle Crest, who Cherry Creek will play next week, is ranked #5. Creek's rival Grandview is ranked 9th, and Cherry Creek's neighbors Regis Jesuit are ranked 10th.
Now, last week, Cherry Creek had some top players out. Luckily, they're back with us tonight, but we did see some incredible performances from young Cherry Creek players, a couple freshmen, a couple sophomores here and there, and, of course, the many juniors we've seen this year in the class of 22. Cherry Creek has a lot to look forward to, and hopefully these young talents can generate some high years of RPI in the future for the Bruins. Now, Matthew, let's transition into my favorite segment of the night, the keys to the game. What do you got cooking for us tonight?
Well, Ben, for Cherry Creek, the main overarching key to the game is just keep doing what you've been doing. And tonight, let's talk about the lines because they're often overlooked. But the O-line needs to just continue holding the rush. They've done such a great job protecting Julian Hammond and giving lots of room to James Walker and Carlson Tan. Just keep doing what they're doing. And the D-line needs to keep doing what they're doing as well. Of course, the D-line's got a lot of great talent, and they seem to always find a way into the pocket. And tonight, I think if they can force Cole Hansen into some tricky situations, they might, throw off the Arapahoe offense a little bit. But there's some keys to the game for Arapahoe too tonight. And the first is, stay unpredictable on play call. This Cherry Creek defense is really analytics driven, and they know Arapahoe's playbook in and out. If they can stay unpredictable on the play call, they can confuse this Cherry Creek defense. They're also going to need to stop Myles Purchase. And let me tell you, Ben, our director JV has already prepared a touchdown graphic for Myles Purchase, and that's really just a testament to the fact that he's one of these guys that even as a defensive player, he's always scoring. And for that matter, it's just going to be for Arapahoe a question of, can you stop Myles Purchase on the punt return and hopefully, avoid pick sixes. And I think Cole Hansen and the Arapahoe special teams are up to that task tonight.
So we are ready up here on the booth. Looks like they are just about ready down there on the field. Arapahoe won the statewide toss this week as it landed on tails. And as we approach kickoffs, a quick weather update, 62 degrees Fahrenheit, a slight wind towards the northwest at 3 miles an hour. It is time for kickoff, and it is right here on CCSN as we are underway from the Stutler Bowl. Bruins will take this one in at the 10-yard line, get up to the 20, then straight up to the 30, then to the 50, all the way to the 40, now to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Kai Oday on the opening kickoff. Wow! We talked about keeping it out of the hands of Myles Purchase, literally just seconds ago, but they put it in the hands of someone on the Cherry Creek special teams, and 9 seconds into the game, Matthew, it's already cost them.
Well, that's really more a testament to Cherry Creek's speed and blocking. I mean, they're so well rehearsed on these kick returns more than anything. So, and by the way, you see here now the special teams. Setting up the special teams here, we're missing Bowden the Leg Page tonight. So, Bowden the Leg Page tonight, not on the roster, but who is AJ Ryopel. So he's one of these guys that's been with the Cherry Creek program since freshman year. He's ready for his first night starting varsity kicking. We're excited to see him out here for his varsity debut.
Stick with us, because by the end of the game, that could be AJ the Leg Ryopel. So, stick with us. We have a Warrior that was slow to get up. He's going to trot across the field off his own power. Looks like he's all good as the Bruins will set up for the extra point. And here comes AJ Ryopel's first attempt of the season. It's up, and it is good from Ryopel, showing some pretty good leg strength there. Want to tell you that Colorado High School football at CCSN is presented by 303 Smiles, delivering amazing smiles for our Cherry Creek Bruins. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, open till 12 a.m. to feed your victory celebration. Raising Cane's on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe. Paragon Homes, your home is one of the most important decisions in your life. Don't just trust anyone to care for you. Go Creek. And by Champ Automotive Group. Visit our showrooms off Highway C470 in Lucent Street in Highlands Ranch and on Havana Street in Aurora. Bruins for the win. Go Creek. Matthew Anderson, Benjamin Paris, welcoming you back inside the Stutler Bowl in Greenwood Village, Colorado. It's week 5 of the regular season. We've got 2 weeks left before the playoffs, and the Bruins lead it early at 7-0 after the opening kickoff. The Bruins are getting ready to kick off.
Of course, AJ Ryopel's first varsity kickoff here.
And here we go. The Warriors take a bounce right around the 12 and be brought in. To the near side, a juke move to his left, and then taken down as he gets across the 25. Now here comes the Cherry Creek defense, who did have some absent players last week, but they're back now, and those, most importantly, are Arden Walker and Gus Salinkas right there on that front line, and they've had a pretty outstanding run defense and, honestly, pass defense all year.
Well, they really have, and what they do is they get in there so early and so often that it just becomes a major stressor to the quarterback. He doesn't have enough time to think. Cole Hansen, I think he's up to the task tonight.
Hansen, under center, going to do a quick handoff, swallowed up rather quickly by the Bruins. Jackson Cox-Hurd there on the tackle. After the 3-yard gain, it's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Warriors on the 29 and their first offensive possession of the game. Hansen under center. Play action this time. He's going to throw, finds a receiver. It's complete. All the way up to the 45, but it's loose. Enoch Wilfork's on top of it, and it's going to go the Bruins' way. Flag down on the 21-yard line. And now lots of whistles. And it's going to be a penalty on the Cherry Creek Bruins.
The question is here, what was the penalty?
Malik Majekadunmi there, rather, going to pick up a roughing the passer penalty.
Well, you know, Ben, it's disappointing that they missed the opportunity for a fumble there, but already starting to put pressure on Cole Hansen. He's got to have to stay resilient tonight. 5 receiver set here. Send 89 in motion. Hansen looks to his left. Pass incomplete. That's a quick pass, Ben. Arapahoe's prepared. They know that this pass rush is coming, and they're getting started with some quick passes.
And due to that Cherry Creek defensive line, quarterbacks don't usually have a ton of time, but when they do get too much time and the Cherry Creek corners catch up to their receivers, it's usually not a great chance for a completion. So those quick slants might just be the way to do it. Hansen going to go to the air again. He'll throw into the ground. It'll be called incomplete well after Cherry Creek picked it up.
And Blake Purchase there on the pressure. Cole Hansen knew it was coming. Just checked the ball down. They're calling for penalty. It's not going to get it.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 10 now.
Great pressure there from Blake Purchase.
Let me tell you, this Arapahoe sideline, pretty loud. Louder than any other team we've seen inside the Stutler Bowl this year. And communication is going to be key whenever you're playing the Cherry Creek Bruins. Hansen's going to drop back on 3rd and 10. He's rushing forward, finds a receiver on the near sideline before he's taken out by Sam Pesnertz.
And
flag down on the 46 of Arapahoe.
Oh.
So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, loss of down after the ball was released in front of the line of scrimmage for the Warriors. That's going to bring up 4th and 15. And the Cherry Creek special teams, 1 for 1 on the night in terms of scoring touchdowns. They're going to get back out on the field. Myles Purchase going to get inside the 25-yard line.
And that's a disappointment because that was a really nice connection there between Cole Hansen and number 33, Zeke Pierce. He found a great way to get open, and Cole Hansen making the connection just wasn't quite behind the line.
We heard from the Arapahoe bench, you can't start a game like that. And the punt will wisely be kicked to the near side out of bounds so that a Bruin can't get his hands on it. And they'll take over. Looks like right around the 25-yard line.
And Ben, we've talked a lot this season about, what is good field position and how important field position is in high school football. And for the Cherry Creek Bruins, not promising field position back there at the 25. They can make it happen. They often do, but not the best field position, not the field position they're accustomed to.
So the Bruins take over with 10:35. Their first time on offense tonight. Hammond looking for his near side will find a receiver in Chase Penry. Penry going to power forward all the way up to the 35 and then to the 36.5. It's going to give the Bruins a first down. after the completion to Penry.
And just very impressive physicality there from Chase Penry. He's a guy who's always trying to get another yard, another yard, another yard, and he does a great job there. He's not a super big guy. He's 6 foot, 200, but he still finds a way to just plow through every man he can. And
Penry leads this team in receiving yards a game with 80 even, and he's tied in touchdowns total with 6, along with Gunnar Helm. Hammond, quick pass to Gunnar Helm, right on cue, and he'll get across midfield all the way up to the 49 of Arapahoe.
And with just 2 plays moving themselves into much better field position.
2 plays, 25 or 26 yards for Cherry Creek so far, as they're inside 2 minutes of the contest.
We go to the replay here. Play action, see Gunnar Helm open the whole time. Julian Hammond just knows. Finds him through, takes 3 guys to bring Gunnar Helm down.
James Walker will switch sides of Julian Hammond. And he'll take the handoff. Walker straight up the middle with some speed. Going to be about a 12-yard gain. Will give Cherry Creek another first down.
And gosh, Ben, I don't know how many Oklahoma drills they've been doing, but these guys are just so intense tonight. So going for every yard they can, just running right into their man.
I saw I think Max Preps posted on one of their social media pages, but there's a picture of 2 guys getting ready for Oklahoma drill. It said, "This drill creates basketball players." There's quite a few basketball players on the field right now for Cherry Creek. Anyway, inside the 40 is Cherry Creek on their first possession of the game. Hammond going to drop back. He's going to let one go deep in the area of Chase Penry. And it will be incomplete. It is in Penry's hands. The referee taps the ground. But it looks like Penry had it the whole way. Must have touched the ground. But some great arm strength shown there from Julian Hammond. Man, he let that one go. We don't see that one too often.
We really don't, but just what a superb connection. And I see, we're 3 minutes into the game. I think we'll see a few more of those tonight.
Hammond's longest pass on the season is 60 yards, but that was due to don't remember who it was to, but it was due to a lot of yards after catch.
Yeah, it was actually to Penry. He threw him like maybe a 5-yard pass, and then Penry had 55 after catch. So that was a crazy play. These guys have been connecting all year long.
Head coach Dave Logan sees something he doesn't like, so he'll call his first timeout of the game with just 8:39 left in quarter number 1. We say it every time he calls a timeout in the first quarter, never hesitant to do it. But just gives us some more time to talk about this Cherry Creek offense. Matthew, it's an unbelievable offense. You have 6 different players with rushing attempts. You have right around 10 players with receptions this year. I mean, it's a pretty versatile group of guys.
Absolutely, Ben. You can go so far down the depth chart, and you've still got guys who are young and strong players and ambitious. This team has a lot of depth to it, and that's one of the things that's made it such a strong team. They can get so many fresh legs in there play after play after play, and give Julian Hammond, lots of different assets. He's got Carlson Tan, James Walker, Chris Lee, all these different guys, Keegan Holes, on any rush play. And, switching that up makes things confusing for the defense as well.
So after the incompletion to Penry in the end zone, it's 2nd and 10 coming out of the timeout. Cherry Creek on the 37. It's going to be another run to Walker on the ground. He's going to power forward and almost get all the way up to the 30 for a 7-yard gain.
Felt like he just kept going.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Bruins. Matthew, in terms of weather, beautiful night here in Greenwood Village.
I wasn't expecting good weather, Ben, but boy, I sure am happy with it. And next week's supposed to be pretty cold on Friday, but then they moved the game to Saturday in the afternoon. Going to be quite a bit warmer. I'm very glad they did that.
Saturday afternoon football coming up next week on CCSN. Going to be a quick pass to Penry. It's incomplete. Whistles never blew. Penry picks it back up, and they now finally call it incomplete. And there's a flag down inside the 35. Going to be holding on Cherry Creek. I assume the penalties declined, so it brings up 4th down. But you never know.
Not the first late whistle of the night. But Chase Penry does a good job realizing the whistle hasn't been called, even though maybe it should have. Grabs the ball. Tries to keep going.
So they're going to replay 3rd down, even though it ended up with an incompletion, which would have brought up 4th and probably 6 or 7. I personally question this decision by the Warriors because you had the opportunity to get the Bruins off the field.
I don't know, Ben. Maybe they thought Bowden the Lake Page was still in the game. Thought he would knock down another 40-yarder.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 14. 16 now. Cherry Creek going to be all the way back to the 43.
But they've got 4, maybe 5 passing options here.
Hammond finds Gunnar Helm, and it's incomplete. So giving Cherry Creek another down is going to pay off, and here comes the punt team.
And some big credit to Alonso Ramirez. Watch him on this coverage here. Just lockdown. By the way, Julian Hammond, just great navigation of that closing pocket. Just swats it right out of Gunnar Helm's hands. Well done. And Ramirez, quite a bit shorter than Gunnar Helm, so just exceptional play there.
Cherry Creek gets their 11th man on the field. Pretty good punt there. Fair catch called and brought in at the 15-yard line. So the Warriors defense gets the Bruins offense off the field, and they'll take back over on the 15-yard line. Pretty good job, just stopping the Bruins from scoring points and getting too far downfield because they stopped the Bruins from even getting close to the red zone.
Yeah, well done. Solid defensive play all around. I mean, Julian Hammond's thrown 11 yards on average per pass, and they just stopped him time again. That was exceptional play from the Arapahoe Warriors.
Something interesting to look out for. Both these quarterbacks have entered the game with a negative amount of rushing yards. So there's an interesting stat that we might want to keep track of. Handoff here up the middle. Going to be a short gain, if any. We'll bring up 2nd and long.
And Arapahoe looking to want to improve their play. They had a bit of a rocky first drive. We heard some tensions from their coaches on the sideline, so they're just hoping to, get down the field here and score. And we've seen them complete drives this long before.
On the ground, Arapahoe averaging 129 yards a game. And as Hansen gets out of the pocket, try to get a short gain. Going to be about a 1-yard gain, going to bring up 3rd and 9. Here comes another conversion for the Warriors.
And that was a big hit there. Blake Purchase chasing Hansen out of the backfield. Well done by Blake Purchase. You see him there standing up on the right side of the defensive line. Of course, defensive end.
So Cole Hansen on 3rd and 9. A guy who throws 209 passing yards per game. He's going to drop back here. Pockets collapsing. Gets the ball off. Going to be well short of his intended receiver, who was Ethan Simpson. It's incomplete. Here comes the punt teams once again. Less than halfway through quarter number 1. The Bruins lead at 7-0. Only points of the game coming on the opening kickoff.
A couple of disappointing drives for both teams here. Of course, not disappointing on the defensive aspect, just exemplary defensive performance tonight.
Matthew, this is an interesting punt formation. Perch is going to take it in right around the 50. Got lots of space to his left as he escapes one tackler. Gonna get inside the 20, down to the 10, 5, and he's gonna walk it in. Touchdown, Myles Purchase. And there you see the graphic on the screen from Jonathan Varghese, prepared for a defensive player and technically the punt returner as well. But that's going to be Cherry Creek's second special teams touchdown of the evening.
He's so fast. Look at him.
And this is in slow motion.
Yeah, it's a foot race. And Myles Purchase is just one of the fastest guys out there. He's going to win.
He escaped one tackler right around the 40, grabbing his leg. Not a ton of contact. And from there, he pretty much went in untouched.
And not to mention his just phenomenal blocking. They're such a well-rehearsed team, this Cherry Creek special teams.
Arapahoe's extra point is up and good with ease. The Bruins lead at 14-0 exactly halfway through quarter number 1.
So he's 2-2 on the season. Arapahoe, that is. We're a big fan of the special teams here in the Cherry Creek Sports Network.
We do have a special
Press
teams,
booth.
a lot of special teams guys in here tonight. And we heard some, our special teams scout, Logan Biggerstaff, was giving us the heads up on what to look for on special teams this evening. His friends call him Logo Biggs, the special teams guy. No marching band here tonight. That's a little bit of a shame. But we do have either the Arapahoe cheerleaders or Palms got a speaker down there on the field, and you know what? I can't complain. They're playing some tunes down there in between plays. I like it.
Some nice early 2010s music. Of course, Cherry Creek. You'll have to forgive me, I can't tell from here. Cherry Creek Palms or Cheer is out here. Oh, Cherry Creek Palms and Cheer are out tonight.
Ryapel's boot is going to be taken in right around the 2-yard line. And it's going to be brought down after it gets all the way up to the 29-yard line. That is Ben Hammond on the return.
And Ben Hammond's not a big guy, but he just runs right into this Cherry Creek defense, or rather special teams, and that takes some guts. Grabs a couple more yards for his team, putting the ball right around the 29. Much better field position than that 20-yard line we're used to.
Hansen back out there for the Arapahoe offense, and after the handoff, it's going to be swallowed quickly by the Bruins. This one's going to be a tackle for a loss. It's going to be Arden Walker making an instant impact in his return to the lineup. They're on screen with Gus Zelinkus. They were back on campus for their first time today to go to class, which was actually the last day of in-person learning here at Cherry Creek, but they were happy to be back on campus for just one more day, as the district is set to begin online learning next week. 2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss. Play action. Going to be the throw, cannot be hauled in. In the area of Colin. You're going to have to help me out there, Matthew.
You'll forgive me. I'm not sure exactly how, but it looks to be about Farquhar. And Cole Hansen just under a lot of pressure here. Almost got the swat. Not quite.
Ashford was there on the coverage. So Hansen joined in the backfield by Zeke Pierce. He's going to throw, and the ball is incomplete, bobbled up, almost intercepted by Austin Luring. It will be incomplete, bring up 4th and long.
And this Arapahoe sideline is doing a lot of communication. They're, interacting with quarterback Cole Hansen, letting him know what they're seeing. Cole Hansen, here's how you can change your plays, or, you're seeing something with the protection that you might want to adjust. And that's a key ingredient. It's something that makes Arapahoe one of the more successful teams in the Centennial League.
Absolutely. So here we go. Punt team back out. Going to come towards the near sideline. Going to take a backwards bounce. And when it's all said and done, it will be downed at the 47-yard line of Cherry Creek. That'll leave them with a 53-yard field in front of them. The offense on their last drive was stopped right around the 30, backed up due to some penalties, couldn't convert on 3rd and long, and punted it away. And obviously following that, Myles Purchase took it to the house. So, 7 more points back on the board. And now the Bruins offense back out there. Play action for Hammond. He's going to throw deep once again. Oh, and it's just out of the hands of Oday. Hammond has shown off the arm tonight because those 2 passes have easily matched his longest completion of the year. And this is all in the air.
And look at this blocking, Ben. He has so much time in the pocket. So much time, and then he gets it away pretty comfortably. Of course, a deep pass, quite accurate. It's just that awesome coverage from number 9, Petros P3days.
But Cherry Creek's getting those one-on-ones because the last 2 deep passes to the end zone pretty much been just those one-on-ones, and Arapahoe's winning these early battles. 2nd and 10 for the Bruins. Getting a quick screen pass to Penry. Since he gets across midfield. Gonna be about a 6 or 7 yard gain, and a 3rd down conversion is coming up for the Bruins. A little bit of a high snap.
And he just knows Penry's going to be open. Great blocking there from 17, Carlson Tan. He's a sophomore.
And you see Penry lower himself in order to give himself that lower center of gravity, and that's what allows him to be so quick on his feet. Going to be another run. It's James Walker. He's moving to his right side. He's got enough for the 1st down and more as he gets to the 30. Then tackled, flagged down on the 36.
Some really nice camera work there, just showed off, James Walker's got great vision.
And on the 2nd 3rd down in a row, it's going to be a holding penalty against Cherry Creek.
Wow, that is disappointing. There's been a couple of disappointing penalties tonight for both teams. Big plays, just called back on small penalties. So
they had 3rd and 16 last time. They're going to have 3rd and 14 after the holding penalty this time. My apologies, 10 yard from the spot of the foul. So they'll end up pretty close to where they started. It will be 3rd and 4 once again. The penalty occurred past the 1st down marker. So the Bruins find themselves on the right hash this time. Another 3rd and 4 coming up. This time they've got 4 receiving options out there. Gonna be a screen pass. Got the 1st down and more. It's Carlson Tan.
And Carlson Tan, someone we haven't really seen at the wide receiver position at all. He was a running back last year, and so far throughout this year, he's been a running back. Cherry Creek trying some new opportunities with Carlson Tan, putting him in some unfamiliar territory, although I'm sure, he's such a skilled player, he works so hard, it'll become familiar territory for him in no time.
That 1st down conversion will go down as Tan's 1st reception of the season. And it came at a pretty big time. 1st and 10 on the 37. Bruins have 3.5 minutes left in the 1st quarter. Penry in motion to the bottom of your screen. Hammond gonna roll out to the left. Gonna throw deep once again in the direction of Oday. It's caught! Touchdown, Bruins! It's Oday Jr. for his 2nd touchdown of the year. And now the Bruins have a 3-score lead.
Oday Jr. Julian Hammond on his 3rd deep pass attempt of the game. Finally connects. But credit to Oday Jr. there for doing a great job getting open and, of course, hauling the ball in.
Hammond has his 16th touchdown throw of the year. The Bruins have their 16th as a team as well. Extra point Up and good. Arapahoe, pretty impressed so far. Of course, Sriram back out there after missing last week because of the roster cap at 50. So Bruins had to rearrange some personnel, but he's pretty much quarterbacking these special teams play. You know, he's counting the guys, making sure they've got 11 on the field, and you know, getting the ball down for Arapahoe to get those kicks away.
Shreyas the Hand Sriram. Got to try out a couple of nicknames for him. They also call him S-Man.
This is true. Brady Ratz is a big fan of S-Man. He is the long snapper. The Bruins to kick off once again. And this one going to be brought in at the 2 once again. Working to the right side. A great tackle there from Pesnerds. Will get Hammond down inside the 20-yard line. The Warriors find themselves on the 17, where they start this drive. They're not on the board yet this evening. It's got to be play action. Got to throw to the near sideline. Has a receiver complete, and a big hit there on the near side. Can hear that one up here in the booth. It's going to be a first down.
Cole Hansen there with some great vision. Just finding Colin. Myles Burgess, big hit. These guys are tough.
He's got to bring up 1st and 10 on the 31 after the 14-yard gain. Pass again. Quick pass is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. It's going to go incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10.
You know, this Arapahoe offense just isn't really accustomed to this really high-speed passing play where they're just having to dump the ball off quickly because Blake Purchase or Gus Zielinskis or Arden Walker's already in the backfield, and they're still calibrating, getting used to it.
So now Hansen on 2nd and 10. They're going to stay on the ground here. Ball's loose. And Gus Zielinskis will recover it. It's going back the Bruins' way. I believe it's the 2nd fumble loss for Arapahoe this evening.
And I do believe the first fumble loss was actually called back by a penalty.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
You're absolutely right. Zielinskis hops right on top of it. Some good awareness there. The Bruins will take on over on the Warrior 33. Less than 3 minutes left in quarter number 1. Hammond with time, rolling out to his left. Even more time, going to go even farther to his left. He's finally going to get in front of the line of scrimmage and get a short gain. He'll take it out of bounds. Had all the time in the world as he kept rolling out to his left, couldn't find a receiver, so he takes it himself.
And that's thanks to this Cherry Creek O-line. You see there number 66, George Fitzpatrick. Spot a couple other numbers there, 76. Domingo Prince II, 78, A.J. Burton, a freshman, made his debut last week. Number 72, Corey Hannaford. Just these strong guys who've worked so hard to become, top of their game.
It's going to be a run on the ground this time. It's James Walker. He'll get up to the 20-yard line. For an 11-yard gain, it's going to be another Cherry Creek first down. Clock rolling inside 3 minutes now. And the Bruins are officially in the red zone for the first time this evening.
Pardon me, of course, not to leave out Jacob Maestis, offensive lineman, also a senior. This offensive line is mostly seniors.
Him with a sidearm throw is almost complete in the area of Kai Oday. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Hammond's pretty skilled with these sidearm throws, that's for sure, and he knows when to use them.
It's been a handful of times tonight where the Overland pass rush has gotten there, and he's just gone straight around them with the arm. Wow. I don't know if Oday was expecting that. But Jackson Adams for the Warriors has gone in there on Hammond a few times and had to make him make some interesting throwing motions.
This Arapahoe pass rush has done a really nice job tonight.
Walker with another carry to the 15, now to the 16.
And that Cherry Creek O-line following him down the field.
The 6-yard gain will bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Bruins.
Third downs are not familiar territory for the Bruins, and the Arapahoe defense has actually done a really great job tonight limiting the Bruins on some of these conversions, and we'll see if they can continue that pattern here on this play.
Third and 4 coming up. Hammond's going to throw. It's tipped and will fall incomplete.
So the question is conversion.
Hammond looks like he wants to get the play call from Coach Logan.
They're going to sub out, looks to be like they're subbing out Tyler Dvorak now for Cooper Pollard. Pollard, of course, a sophomore.
So on 4th and 4, the Bruins will go for it. It's going to be the run to Walker. He's not going to get enough. The Warriors will stop him, and it will be a turnover on downs.
And I think this is the best defense of the Cherry Creek Bruins offense that we've seen all night. Of course, scoreboard may read 21-0, but that's pretty much all, or that's 14 of those 21 points are special teams. So Arapahoe just doing a great job on the defense of this Cherry Creek offense. Really, really exemplary. And I expect them, keep it up. And this offense is having a little bit of trouble with the Cherry Creek defensive line and field position. I mean, they've got to go nearly 90 yards here, so definitely a tricky situation.
They're going to stay on the ground again. Going to get to the 25 before tackle is made.
But a couple plays like that, Ben, and you're in the end zone in no time. That, of course, Zeke Pierce again.
Pierce leads the team in rushing yards, 383, just through 3 games this season. That's going to exclude the game they played last week at Eagle Crest.
383 is quite an impressive figure for a high school. For over 3 games is quite an impressive figure for a high school running back.
3 trips to the end zone as well for Zeke. They're going to give it to him again, and we've got a flag down on the 30. See what the call is. Going to be holding against the Warriors with 61 seconds left on the clock in quarter 1. It's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was the 30-yard line. That'll back them up to the 20. and it will bring up 1st and 20 for the Warriors. Inside a minute left in quarter one, where the Bruins lead it by 3 scores over the Warriors, 21 to nothing. Quick slant, complete, and then fumbled, and the Bruins have it again.
And that might be Gus Zelinski's brother, Hank Zelinskis.
The Zelinskises both have 1 fumble recovery on the night. Would Zelinskises be Zelink-I?
I couldn't say, Ben, but I can say that they have just done an exceptional job tonight. Hank Zelinskis, normally second string, but they're putting him in there. Oh, wow, and you see that, what do you call that, reverse motion? Reverse play from our director, JV, over there. He worked so hard during the week to prepare those awesome graphic effects for us. Cherry Creek now with their best field position of the night.
That was awesome. Hammond with lots of time, throwing to the near side. Diving forward is Kai Oday. Complete. Oday on the year, just 7 receptions. He's got 3, I think, so far tonight, and a touchdown. The junior in his first year as a starter.
And will they get it off before the first quarter is called?
They do, with 1 second left. James Walker with a carry is going to be close to the goal line and in. Touchdown, Bruins on the final play of quarter number 1. They'll put themselves up 4 scores. The PAT will come on, and it will be the final play of the quarter.
AJ Ryapel having lots of opportunities to practice tonight.
Extra point is up and good. So through 1 quarter tonight, 28 points scored, all go to the Cherry Creek Bruins. The Bruins averaged 12.25 points in quarter number 1 through their first 4 games this season. They have more than doubled that this evening. Now, we could have an exciting quarter coming up ahead of us because according to our analytics, second quarter usually the highest scoring for the Bruins.
And there you see 2 coaches poring over some game film. This Cherry Creek coaching staff records game film live, mid-game. And, of course, the Arapahoe coaching staff does that, too. You can see them, or we can see them here on the sideline. Both teams looking at game film, making deliberations about, how are we going to change our strategy moving forward. At the upper levels of high school football, there's some seriously high-level analytics that really can inform some strong gameplay. So
it is pretty special because I even remember when I came to games as an elementary schooler, middle schooler, when my siblings attended Cherry Creek, those things weren't really around. You had the coaches with headsets, which first of all, that's big, so that the guys up in the booth talk to those down in the field. But to have live game film with these end zone cameras they have set up with some monitors on the sidelines is really cool to see high school football. This return brought up to the 29. It's going to be the second time in a row the Warriors return the kickoff to the 29. And they will open up quarter number 2 on offense.
And the key here, I think, is just to find some rhythm and find some momentum, get into a habit and block this Cherry Creek D line.
The Warriors have made the plays they've needed to. They've just had some struggles holding on to the ball. Gonna stay on the ground here. Gonna get up to the 32 for a 3-yard gain. It's gonna be Zeke again.
The tackle there, Jackson Cox hurt. Someone we don't talk about a lot on air, but not for lack of impact. He's such a big player. Of course, he's a senior. He's worked so hard his whole career, and he continues to be one of those players that just makes lots of tackles. Big asset for Cherry Creek.
2 of them tonight. Play action. Gonna throw incomplete with a diving receiver. Arden Walker there on the coverage.
Or perhaps Luis Lozano.
It's going to bring up another 3rd down for the Warriors. So we enter quarter number 2. I want to thank all of you for joining us on the Cherry Creek Sports Network this evening in a season that has been unlike any other. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the regular season in week 5. 3rd and 7 for the Warriors. A pass across the middle is incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. Call-in for QR has been a pretty common target for the Warriors tonight. And the Bruins are doing an excellent job covering him without penalty. The punt is blocked. It's going to be picked up by the Bruins. They've got no one in their way, and they will bring it in for the score. And Remington Larson.
Yeah, that was number 15, Remy Larson, and wow. Wow. He is a junior. We don't see him very often. He's usually a 2nd or 3rd string player, but they do put, some of those guys in on special teams, and he making the biggest play of his career yet. Wow. Just great awareness.
Sam Pesner with some straight up athleticism. He jumped way high to get the block, and the Bruins are in the end zone for the 5th time this evening. Extra point is up low, but it is good from Arapahoe. He is 5 for 5.
And Ben, I think this is why we're such big fans of special teams here in the CCSN press box. They've scored 3 of Cherry Creek's 5 touchdowns tonight, and of course, Arapahoe scoring 5 points on PATs.
What's absolutely special about special teams is, I see what I did there, no pun intended. The Bruins put a lot of guys on special teams that usually aren't starters, so guys that we've seen like Remy Larson, guys like Tyler Tolbert are usually out there on special teams, and they put out over half of the Bruins' points tonight. So these guys who aren't traditionally starters on offense or defense are still finding ways to contribute for the Bruins.
And I think the reason, they put some of these 2nd stringers, these 3rd stringers on there who are younger is to get them practice, get them exposure to the contact that is entailed by varsity football. And it's clearly working out because it's gotten some of these players and some of these top players that you see like James Walker or Chase Penry, for example, were on special teams at one point getting that exposure. So definitely a big tool in Cherry Creek's toolbox of, teaching players how to excel and succeed.
The Cherry Creek Special Teams Pipeline is what we'll call it. Kick from Arapahoe will be brought in at the 4 before it's dropped and picked back up, and will be brought down before they cross the 10. So that will back them way up. We also want to thank all of you joining the conversation on Twitter this evening. Just had a viewer say, looks like the guys are ready to go tonight. They indeed were, Matthew. They indeed are killing it with 13 minutes and 10 seconds played this evening. They've put up 35 points. Have to do some crunching of numbers there in a little while. Ball on the ground. Going to be a short gain. Bring up 2nd and long for the Bruins. Now, contrary to what the scoreboard might say right now, this Arapahoe team, in no sense, they're not a bad football team whatsoever. I mean, they put up a fight against, number 5 team in the state, number 2 team in the conference last week at Eagle Crest. And a pretty evenly fought game.
Absolutely, Ben. It's mostly been special teams for Cherry Creek and just big plays. They've done an exceptional job holding Cherry Creek's offense, probably the best job that we've seen across the entire season, and it's pretty staggering. Their offense has struggled a little bit, and that's not for lack of incredible skill on the Arapahoe Warriors offense. It's just the incredible pass rush of the Cherry Creek Bruins. So definitely 2 top teams we have here tonight.
And they've tried a lot of, passes over the middle for some short gains that other teams wouldn't even try to attempt against Cherry Creek.
Mm-hmm. They're certainly a very ambitious team, and they know their skill.
On 3rd and 7, there's going to be an encroachment penalty against the Bruins. We'll give the Warriors 5 yards, and that 3rd and 7 just turned into a 3rd and 2.
Well, that's strategic, and way to catch the Bruins' defensive line and their pass rush just totally off guard. Well done. Offsides. Catch them totally offsides, if you will.
Another thing about this Overland O-line, I don't know why I said Overland, Arapahoe O-line, is that they have yet to let up a sack tonight either. As they get a complete pass, it's loose and it will be incomplete. Al Ashford will take it all the way back for no good reason. And there's a Bruin down on the field. Looks like it's Luis Lozano. He'll pop on up. He will limp to the sideline.
And you see him there. Oh. Thank you, Johnny, for the director Johnny, for the replay reversed feature. Very fancy.
New this week, Johnny is killing it tonight. Ooh, that didn't look good. Looks like something with the knee. Fourth and 2. Punt's going to be away in the area of Purchase. Will take it off the bounce, get through a few tacklers, and will be taken down at the 35 for the first time this evening. Something admirable about Purchase that he is never scared to take a ball off a hop. So the Bruins will start another drive in Warrior territory. They're on the 34 this time, up by 35 in quarter 2.
They've got great field position here. Unfortunately, if they were to put this over 40, if they were to put the score differential over 40, which would just be any trip to the end zone here, that would put us into mercy rule territory. And
that would run the clock.
Yeah.
But before that, we're going to stop the clock. Bruins will take a quick timeout to discuss some things. With 8:52 left in the half. So the Bruins rushing touchdown to receiving touchdown ratio that I want to talk about real quick. 5-15, so it's 1-3. But when you throw special teams into the mix as well, so try to find that stat. We'll get you back on that.
Certainly a large number, and I'd like to know defensive touchdowns as well.
Special teams, pretty much what we're trying to say, special teams contributing to that ratio as well. That pass incomplete. Intended receiver is Penry as Hammond was rushed out of the pocket. bring up second down for the Bruins.
On your screen there, some of Cherry Creek's best O-linemen, number 77, Jacob Maestis, and number 72, Corey Hannaford, doing an excellent job of protecting QB1 Julian Hammond tonight. Chase Penry back set for the pass. Looking for a completion after that incompletion.
Play clock at 0. Looks like we're going to have a delay of game called.
We've seen a lot of involvement of Carlson Tan tonight. I think they're wanting to get Carlson Tan some exposure, possibly try him out in, the receiver position. He's a versatile guy, and since he works so hard, Cherry Creek might try to leverage him in positions that perhaps he's not familiar with. Of course, he's young, and he has time to, switch positions and practice different scenarios. Julian Hammond there directing Carlson on how to set up.
Play action going to be screen pass to Penry. Penry going to try to cut back towards the center of the field and get a short gain. He was fighting, but he was brought down by the Warriors for maybe a 1-yard gain if he's lucky.
And this Warrior defense is just impressive. Cherry Creek now 3rd and 15. I don't know how often Cherry Creek's been in 3rd and 15, but I'll tell you it's not very often, and Arapahoe's put them there a couple times tonight, so
it's going to be their second time the Bruins find themselves on a 3rd and over 15 or more tonight. They had a 3rd and 16 earlier in the first quarter. They're just going to give it to James Walker. He gets to the 30, then to the 35. He's going to have plenty of yards and more as he gets to the end zone for the touchdown on 3rd and 15. The Bruins find the end zone for the 6th time this evening. And 3rd and 15 didn't even bother them, Matthew.
No, it did not, Ben. So that's going to bring the score differential 41-0. Of course, James Walker bringing the season rushing total to 6 rushing touchdowns.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Walker in the end zone for what I believe is his 3rd time this season.
Right, pal. 6 for 6 this season.
He's quickly approaching Page's, I think, 17 or 18 attempts on the year.
And, Ben, tell us what happens when the score differential surpasses 40.
So when the score differential passes 40, we do get a running clock here at the 5A level of Colorado high school football. So unless I can't come up with the team names. Arapahoe, if Arapahoe puts some points on the board, that clock will stop once again. But for now, we're rolling on, and now inside 6 minutes. And that will occur for the remainder of the game. So if the score were to stay the same until after halftime, the clock would start and run until after the kickoff of the second half. Another return by the Warriors gets across the 20. Ben Hammond having himself a pretty good return night, getting at least 20 yards per return. Usually he's gone up close to the 30 a few times.
And I'm receiving word from our director, JV, that the clock does not stop even if Arapahoe can close the score differential. So Cherry Creek moving themselves into more secure territory here with that running clock. It's really a punishment for Arapahoe in the sense that they'll have less time to score.
A run up the middle, a big hit.
Wow. We could hear that up in the press box.
It's the sound that frightens me more than the sight sometimes.
Yeah. Zeke Pierce, he's a tough guy. That's Zeke Pierce on your screen right there.
Not even
33.
phased.
Yeah.
He gets the play call. He's ready to do it again. Gets a 1st and 10. Warriors up to the 35.
And I'm a big fan of these Warriors helmets.
Pass over the middle incomplete. We'll see if we can get a closer view at a Warrior helmet, but looks like they got like an arch coming across the top.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you see it right there.
Yeah, that black looks nice, doesn't it?
Good job, everyone in the booth. Another quick pass. I like the play call because no one else has tried to do that. Another quick pass over the middle, complete. Across to the Bruins territory and all the way down to the 47.
And Colin there just pushing through.
No quit in these Warriors. 4:20 left in the first half. They find themselves down 42. Over the middle is Hansen. The pass is bobbled out of the hands, then falls incomplete.
And as we discussed before, Ben, this Arapahoe offense just isn't really calibrated yet to the quick rhythm that they've had to change to rival Cherry Creek's defensive line.
Some great efforts there from the Cherry Creek secondary. An excellent job covering some pretty large Arapahoe receivers this evening, especially tight ends. 2nd and 10 now. Hansen going to roll out to his left. Tried to find a receiver. Pass will fall incomplete near the Cherry Creek sideline. Will bring up 3rd and long. The running game is starting to find its pace for Arapahoe. They want to get started going in the air as well. Inside 3 minutes. The Warriors on the 47 on 3rd and 10.
And there on your screen, your Cherry Creek defensive line.
But before the 3rd and 10 play, they're going to take some time to talk it over, make sure they get everything right. Arapahoe, with their first charge timeout of the half, comes with 2:36 left.
So that is the one thing that really does stop the clock, Ben. A timeout.
Coming up at halftime, I believe we got a performance from Cherry Creek Palms coming up, and then, of course, we'll have the Raising Cane's halftime reports. Lots to go over. A lot of it has to do with some things going around in the world in general. Have some Cherry Creek-related things as well, but always a fun time on the Raising Cane's halftime report. Raising Cane's on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe, open till 12 a.m. to feed your victory celebration. Raising Cane's. They got some great chicken and sweet tea and lemonade. They really got it all.
You're a fan, Ben. You're a fan.
Our friend Blake Olson was here last night to announce the Veterans Day, or the Veterans Appreciation game between Overland and Smoky Hill. And Raising Cane's supports Blake as well, and they have a very wonderful commercial. And I found myself hungry last night watching the game. By the way, that game, too, is such a cool game. You know, the teams will wear special jerseys for it. Those two rivals will play for a wagon wheel. It's like their rivalry trophy. Pretty great game. Pretty spectacular, high-scoring game we saw last night between Overland and Smoky Hill.
It was also nice to see some of the decorations they put up around the Stellar Bowl and around the campus. You know, just thanking veterans for all of their commitment to this country and to our great military. So just a great way for the Cherry Creek community, Cherry Creek football team, or pardon me, the CCSD football teams to engage with the CCSD community and spread some goodness and appreciation in the world.
Absolutely. We need it right now more than ever. 2:29 is on the game clock. in this first week of November football. My least favorite thing about November football is that it's dark before kickoff. So we put back the clocks last week.
It's nice to play under these lights.
That's true. That was always my favorite part when I played flag football out here in my younger days. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Late flag thrown after Enoch Woofort had a late hit. And that's going to give the Warriors a considerable amount of yardage. Inside 2 minutes now, the Warriors will get all the way up to the 30 on what should have been 4th and 10, back around the 45.
Unfortunately, the clock still ran while they moved the chains.
Another pass is batted down. Then we had a big guy pick it up. Not a sight you see often in football, but big man football can be pretty entertaining.
Got out of frame on the last play because Cole Hansen had thrown it away, but Arden Walker delivering a big hit to Cole Hansen. You know, that can shake someone up, make them stressed out or uneasy in the pocket, and that Cherry Creek defensive line can do that to you.
Pass completed to the 20-yard line, going to be close to the line to gain. And with under 60 seconds, they'll pick up a first down. The Warriors are driving now as they are in their first trip to the end zone, or to the red zone this evening. They've got 45 seconds left. Hansen hit from behind as he throws. It's going to be incomplete. Clock will keep running. The Warriors don't like that.
That might be the first sack that this Arapahoe O-line has led up tonight.
I think they might have just corrected it to an incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
So technically, the Bruins have been shut out so far. The Warriors will take their third and final timeout with 22 seconds left. So whatever happens after this next play, they're going to have to either get their field goal unit out there or get up to the line pretty quickly.
Maybe they'll try getting out of bounds. Getting out of bounds, of course, would stop the clock. Oh, pardon me, it's a running clock, so it would not stop the clock. So, with 38 seconds to go, we're a bit confused here in the booth how they got to 38 on the scoreboard, but
there's definitely 28, right?
Yeah. Couldn't say, Ben.
It might have been due to the timeout called after the pass in Cherry Creek. Did take the ball back the other way for a while, which was unnecessary after the play was blown dead. So 38 seconds was what's on the clock. Hansen rush, pass complete, plenty of space. And he's going to be brought out and then fumbled out of bounds. Clock will run. Ball's going to be placed on the 1-yard line. We've got 20 seconds left. Officials trying to get the ball down.
Arapahoe hustling here. It's their closest opportunity to score of the night.
And the Bruins will take their third and final timeout of the half with just 8 seconds left.
And let me tell you, that might have been a blessing to the Arapahoe offense. That's A.J. Shakenback.
Found himself with a lot of space. And Sam Pesner's put his arms up. Sam was definitely a completion. As the ball did get fumbled out of bounds right on the 1-yard line. So these are the things you always want to work on. You've got one play on the 1-yard line. And we do have some pretty exciting stuff to end this first half. So both the teams have used their 3 timeouts this half. No one else will be able to stop the clock here.
Arapahoe's got 1 play. And it's 6 points or no points whether or not they get in. So this is their biggest play yet.
They started this drive all the way back, right around the 21 or 2 yard line. And here it is. Looks like it was stopped short. The clock didn't stop before that play. Warriors going to try to get to the line, and they won't have enough time. That's the end of the first half as the clock hits 0. Now, the clock didn't even start before the ball was snapped, before the Bruins stood it up. So they'll end the first half with a goal line stand. After 1 half, the Cherry Creek Bruins lead the Arapahoe Warriors 42-0. Special teams playing a huge factor here tonight, and the teams will head to their makeshift locker rooms for a 15-minute halftime break. We're going to take a break as well. We'll be right back with the Raising Cane's halftime report. Colorado High School football on CCSN is brought to you by 303 Smiles, delivering amazing smiles for our Cherry Creek Bruins. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, open till 12 a.m. to feed your victory celebration. Raising Cane's on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe. Paragon Homes, your home is one of the most important decisions in your life. Don't trust anyone to care for you. Go Creek! And by Champ Automotive Group. Visit our showrooms off Highway C470 and Lucent Street in Highlands Ranch and on Havana Street in Aurora. Bruins for the win. Go Creek! We welcome you to the Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers halftime report. Badger Paris alongside Matthew Anderson. Matthew, week 6, we didn't know if the game was going to happen. Now we do know the game will indeed happen just 2 days later than originally scheduled. The game is now set to be played Saturday of next week, November 14th. Game time at 1 o'clock. That one moved as well. Most important thing, Cherry Creek is going to play a final league game. Now, Eagle Crest can't play this week due to some COVID-related circumstances, but they will. It'll be Eagle Crest 5th game, Cherry Creek 6th, and a potential league championship game.
Well, Ben, we sure are excited because these are really, at least currently, the two best teams in our in the league, the Centennial League, and it's going to be a showdown. Both of these teams are super ambitious. Both are really looking to win. They're very competitive teams, and we're excited. Also, along the lines of the calendar, next week, Wednesday, will be signing day. It'll be a virtual event, I believe streamed live by CCSN.
Yep, we got a video coming out.
Yeah, and that sure will be exciting because we've got a lot of top athletes at Cherry Creek headed off to top athletic and academic programs around the country.
We're now going to take a look at the COVID-19 update around the Cherry Creek School District. Obviously, if you've looked at the news, if you've looked at statistics online, things aren't really getting better around here. 25 teams across all the classifications in Colorado this week had games canceled, which you never like to see, and then you have to work with rescheduling and X and Y and Z. So really, the biggest thing here is the athletic directors, the coaches, the players, everybody involved has been doing an absolute phenomenal job. As we look at Cherry Creek schools, just yesterday, over 1,000 students are quarantined district-wide, over 150 staff. And when you combine positivity, you've got over 100 as well. So those numbers aren't good. That Cherry Creek was in the red for 9, now 10 days in a row, which on their COVID tracker on their website gave them a score of, I believe it was 5 or less, 6 or less. And they're in it for 6 days. They needed a 7 to 14 sustained change to make a difference in the learning plan, and that's exactly what District Superintendent Dr. Scott Siegfried did this week. So he announced that we will indeed have remote learning beginning on Wednesday, and elementary schoolers will start a week from Monday, all remote. But you know what, Matthew? We've seen it all year from coaches, players, teachers, everyone involved pretty much in academics and athletics, everyone around high schools. We've seen some amazing things this year just from people all over the place. And, you know, a lot of things have been thrown at teachers across really across the world this year, and it's just unreal how they're just able to handle it all. They're working on the fly, and I know that come Wednesday we'll have some great plans for remote learning. And, you know, obviously everybody wants to be in a classroom, everyone wants to be with their teacher, but if I know the teachers at Cherry Creek, we're going to be all right come next Wednesday. Coming up on CCSN is half number 2. We are right around 2.5 minutes away from the kick. Me and Matthew will see you then on CCSN. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Benjamin Parrish joined by Matthew Anderson, getting ready for half number 2 of Colorado High School football on CCSN. The Bruins lead it after half number 1. It is 42-0, and they are set to kick off to begin this half. And once they do, the clock will run without a stoppage.
Barring, of course, timeouts.
Correct. So we are all ready to go on half number 2. Quarter number 3. Did a quick stat check. Arapahoe yet to score a point in quarter number 3 so far this season. But it could certainly happen here against the Bruins of Cherry Creek. Here we go. Ryapel's kick brought in at the 2-yard line. Hammond gets to the 20, then up to the 30 before he's knocked out of bounds at the 37. His longest return of the night is a 35-yard return. Warriors will take back over.
And a very impressive return indeed. 35-yard returns are not common for high school football, and way to start off the third quarter.
Handoff here. We got a flag down first, though. Let's see what the call is. I think it's going to be 12 men for Cherry Creek. Should just be 5 yards added to the end of the run, which would give, nope, looks like we're going 10.
And I'll tell you, Ben.
Nope, looks like we're on 15. Must have been unsportsmanlike. We might actually be going 20. I am quite confused. So the Warriors get a considerable amount of yardage as they find themselves on the 40 of Cherry Creek. Hanson dropping back, and he's hit by Arden Walker. And Arden Walker has the ball. He gets to the 20. He can't be taken down. Touchdown, Arden Walker. Wow. It was a strip sack, and he brings it all the way back. We're going to have to get another look. Wow.
Wow.
That was insane.
Really was. Arden Walker, he's a playmaker. He works so hard. He was working with the NFL, or a couple players in the NFL this summer, including Bradley Chubb. And he said he was impressed mostly by their work ethic, and it inspired him to just become an even harder worker. Of course, he's also a very humble person, and he does make big plays like that all the time. A.J. Ryapel, of course, making a play there with the
7th point
after attempt
of the evening. Hanson has hands on his hips. He's watching that one back on the monitor as well. That was wild. Wow. The Bruins gave one of those up earlier. Sam Hart of Cherokee Trail Week 2, I think, did a similar thing to Marte Russell.
You'll have to pardon me for not remembering, but that does sound familiar. Of course, I think that's Arden Walker's first strip sack of the season, and
might be the first one of his career.
Arden Walker headed off to some top school somewhere. He hasn't announced yet. He's announcing soon.
Might be Texas, might be CU, might be A&M. He's got a lot of options.
Any school that gets him will be lucky to have him. That's a fact.
Ryapel with a short kick. This one brought in at the 8-yard line. Hammond's going to work to his right before he cuts in at the 20 up to the 21. So with less than 8 minutes left in quarter number 3, Warriors take back over.
And for the Warriors, that was number 3, Ben Hammond on the return. Not related to Julian Hammond or Christian Hammond.
Or Ben Paris.
Or Ben Paris.
Good name. Pretty good returner as well. They're going to go to the run, swallowed quickly by the Cherry Creek D-line. Going to be no gain on the play.
And starting to put in some second stringers there on the D-line. Wes Brinkenhoff, Ed Pilato. Get them some exposure.
Got to throw, complete, can't be hauled in, incomplete.
It's number 89, Colin, once again on the target.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Do I see a Tyler Tolbert on the 35-yard line? I think I do. Yes, I do. Oh, in the direction of Tyler Tolbert. Man, that got me a little excited. The ball was thrown away. It's going to bring up 4th and 10. And there goes Tolbert.
They almost had him sub off, then they didn't.
All right, so the Bruins did this last week where in the second half, they just didn't put a man back to receive a punt. And they're doing it again this week. It's beyond me, quite frankly. I guess they just want to give Marte Russell a harder time.
Possibly wanting to prevent any chance of a fake. I couldn't say. I'm sure there's a good reason behind it.
Hammond's going to stick out there, up by 49.
Hammond's not usually up there when Cherry Creek's up by 49, but neither, of course, is Penry, Oday, or Walker, all first stringers.
Cherry Creek's highest point total of the year is 49, so any score going forward will break that. It was against Cherokee Trail week 2, 49-7, the final score. Hammond, throw, complete to Penry. Penry breaks some tackles and will get a few more yards after that. Someone we haven't seen a ton of tonight, Matthew, would be number 11, Gunnar Helm.
Well, he just hasn't seen as many targets tonight, and you know, some games you have a lot of targets, some games you don't. It's just a matter of random chance. Henry there always finds a way to get yards after a catch. He knows the value of every yard after a catch, and he's so tough. He
It's going to be
always finds a way.
2nd and a long 1 for the Bruins. More like 2nd and 2, quite frankly. Hammond dropping back. Throwing deep to Penry. It's caught. Down to the 10. Chase Penry with a pretty incredible reception.
That's not Penry's first incredible reception this season, and it won't be his last. But we said earlier, Ben, you know, he was in and out of his hands on a previous deep pass play. He's made up for it. Well done there by Chase Penry. He always finds a way to just, you know, get those yards after catch, as I mentioned earlier, and haul in those passes that most other receivers just wouldn't catch, to be frank. And that's why he's hit it off to be one of CU's top assets next year.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line. The Bruins trying to put up their highest score of the season. Looking the direction of Penry. He's going to go up and come down with the football. Touchdown, Bruins.
And he's got such a high vertical. It sometimes in, you know, those passing situations, if the ball's placed high, it can just not even be a contest because Penry can just get up. And others don't have that leg strength too.
AJ Ryalpel coming on for his 8th PAT of the game. He's having himself a night from the 10-yard line. up and good. The Bruins with their 8th score of the game.
And here we have, I don't know, our middle schooler, our elementary schooler, ball boy. This is Dean Thomas's son. He does just a great job. All these little boys running around behind the end zone, on the sidelines, catching balls, running them here and there and here and there, fielding A.J. Ryopel's, Bowden Page's kicks.
Also seen in frame, you see Mark Goldsberry, health teacher with the down marker. I think Kent Dertinger might have also been in frame on the chains this evening. Well, we can tell you about Mr. Thomas on screen, 34 in the white. I hear that the Thomas family, they brought home 2, I don't know if they call it Little League or youth football Super Bowls this fall.
Wow.
So great for that family. The development of Cherry Creek Bruins is never, they never underperform. There's always championships coming from Little Bruins teams as well.
Yeah, we're, after school over at GV, and they're all the Cherry Creek Bruins youth football teams practicing. You can tell they're good, and in a few years, a couple of them are going to be either Myles Purchase or the James Walker of their year.
Gonna get a run all the way up to the 31-yard line is Zeke Pierce. And let me tell you, in a normal year where there's not as many precautions going around, if you were to walk around GV any given day in the fall or spring, you see a lot of talent in just one park. There's been some amazing people that have gone through GV practicing every day. It's going to be another rush on the ground for Zeke. And he's going to get all the way to the 40. Back-to-back first downs for him. The run game is working for the Warriors.
And Zeke doing a great job fighting holes in this Cherry Creek defense, breaking through these tackles. He's a solid running back. That's why he has so many rushing yards, why he's Arapahoe's rushing yard leader. He's a dependable guy.
1st and 10 with 20 seconds left in the quarter. They're going to give it to him again. This one will be just a short gain. And I think it will bring us to the conclusion of quarter number 3. After 3, the Bruins lead it by 56. An 8-score lead. And the Warriors are shut out through 3. And as we head to quarter number 4, we remind you that Colorado High School football on CCSN is brought to you by 303 Smiles, delivering amazing smiles for our Cherry Creek Bruins. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers open till 12 a.m. to feed your victory celebration. Raising Cane's on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe. Paragon Homes, your home is one of the most important decisions you'll make in your life. Don't trust anyone to care for you. Go Creek! And by Shop Automotive Group. Visit our showrooms off Highway C470 and Lucent Street in Highlands Ranch and on Havana Street in Aurora. Bruins for the win. Let's go Creek. We welcome you back to quarter 4 action from the Stutler Bowl. After a pass in the direction of A.J. Scheckenbach will come in and out of the hands, incomplete. The Warriors have 3rd and 10 on the 41.
And just to remind viewers who are possibly tuning in right now, Cherry Creek is up by 56 points, so the clock is running.
Over the middle, complete pass, down to the 40. It's call in for QR. Tyler Tolbert on the tackle.
And
Oh yeah, Tyler, let's go. Hanson throwing over the middle, it's up and will fall incomplete. Tolbert there on the coverage with Ezron Rice.
Ezra and Rice and Tyler Tolbert been in a couple of key tackle or coverage scenarios already tonight. They, of course, second stringers. Both on the younger side of this Cherry Creek Bruins defense, just trying to get some exposure tonight before inevitably some of these guys become varsity starters next year.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10. They're on the 40. They're going to give it to Zeke once again. He'll get a short gain. We'll bring up 3rd and long on the Bruins side of the field. Big 3rd down conversion coming up. Hanson finds a passer, and then he is hit hard by Pesnerds. Incomplete. Will bring up 4th and long.
Hanson, great vision there. You can see him checking his checks. Ooh. And that brutal hit from Sam Pesnerds.
He got all of that one.
Nothing illegal about it.
To say the
Just
least,
big.
He got all of it. 9 minutes left. We've got a flag down. I think it's going to be offsides on the Bruins. Encroachment, maybe.
The Cherry Creek Bruins sideline. Coaches are,
That was audible from probably 100 yards away.
I mean, they are disappointed to say the least.
Bring up 4th and 4. Give the Warriors a little bit of an easier time on this conversion. Pass complete and good enough for the 1st down and more. That'll get to Alonzo Ramirez, the sophomore. He's got his team a 1st down. Let me tell you, I don't think there's anyone more excited about that one than Jackson Smith on the Arapahoe Warriors sideline. Hanson throwing across the middle. Finds a receiver complete, will be a short gain.
That's 21, Isaac Glover on the reception. Lining up again for this play on the bottom of your screen.
It's 2nd and 8. They're on the 25. They're trying to get back in the Cherry Creek red zone where they ended half number 1, but just came up short. They have a little bit of a screen pass to Zeke. He'll get to the 24 for another short game. They'll have a 3rd and about 4 coming up. 7, rather.
And 32, Ezron Rice. You're going to see him here on the tackle. Great job wrapping up 33, Zeke Pierce, Christian Hammond, and Gus Alinskis also in the area.
Flags down.
Looks to be a false start.
So the 3rd and 7 turns into a 3rd and 12.
This Bruins sideline, our coaches are being very, very vocal. Wanting to let these young, less experienced players, you know, tell them what's going on.
Deep into this game, the Bruins are still playing very well-disciplined football.
And deep into their depth chart as well.
That pass high of the intended receiver looked to be in the area of Glover once again. Will be incomplete. We'll bring up 4th and 12. Now this one might just be out of field goal reach, but we did see one of the many Arapahoe kickers that are on the roster drill one from 45 during the halftime break. So anything is possible. But first, we'll have a timeout on the Arapahoe Warrior side of things. Matthew, have you thought about your victory celebration tonight?
Well, Ben, I haven't, but I guess I see where you're going. You're thinking.
You know, I think mine's going to be at Raising Cane's
Yeah.
because they are open until midnight on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe. It's so good. I can't lie. It's so good. So as Matthew put it, the deeper part of the Cherokee depth chart you see on your screen now, they're getting ready to defend a 4th and 12 on the 29. This would probably be, what do you say, a 40 what yarder if they were to kick this?
Well,
which they're not, but
That would be a 46-yarder.
46.
Yeah. You could call it 47 if you wanted around.
Hands it to his left side. Has a wide open receiver. We've got an injured Warrior on the field around the 20, though.
That's A.J. Schenkenbach on the reception. He's been a real valuable player for Arapahoe tonight, making lots of key receptions. And it looks to be number 21, Isaac Glover, down on the field.
As we take a quick break from the action, remind you that Colorado High School football on CCSN is brought to you by 303 Smiles, delivering amazing smiles for our Cherry Creek Bruins. By Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Open till 12 a.m. to feed your victory celebration and mine as well. Raising Cane's on the northwest corner of Parker and Arapahoe. Paragon Homes, your home is one of the most important decisions you'll make in your life. Don't trust just anyone to care for you. Go Creek. And by Shop Automotive Group, visit our showrooms off Highway C470 in Lucin Street in Highlands Ranch and on Havana Street in Aurora. Bruins for the win. Go Creek. Benjamin Paris welcoming you back to the Stutler Bowl. Under 6 minutes left in the game. Hanson's going to roll out to his right. Ball is popped out of his hands. Touchdown as he breaks the plane. The officials rule it as a touchdown. I'm not sure about that one, but it is 6 points on the board for the Warriors. For those of you at home, we did see Arapahoe Warrior unfortunately carted off the field. We did see some motion from him, so that's good a sign. But he was taken off as a precaution. And we are back for the final 5 minutes of the contest. I think it's very fitting that we find the Warriors find the end zone directly after that.
Clock still running here.
Kicking teams come back on the field. So we approach 3.5 minutes.
Cherry Creek
Warriors
preparing
might be trying something
for
here.
an onside kick.
It's not going to go 10 yards. Oh! So that didn't quite go 10 yards. It did go off a Warrior at about the 47-yard line. So the Bruins will take back over. They've got 3 minutes.
And the pace of play here seriously waning as Marte Russell takes the field for the first time tonight.
Bruins will go to the right side hash. Russell will take his spot under center.
Scratch that shotgun.
Puts Caswell in motion. He'll just hand this one off to the 45-yard line. Is Jaden Jordan. He'll pick up a first down for the Bruins. Less than 2 left from the Stutler Bowl. Bruins are on the 35. Russell gonna give it to Jordan again. Jordan has lots of space to his left, gets to the 30, tries to turn the corner towards the first down marker. He'll get about an 8-yard gain, bring up second down. And as Russell takes another snap, it's going to be a false start on the Bruins first. Back him up 5. We'll bring up 2nd and 7.
This might take us to just about one of our last plays of the game here.
15 seconds separate game clock and play clock. So this will likely be the final one from Stutler Bowl. Jordan with another handoff will get across the 30. He'll stay on his feet. Whistles will be blown. And that should bring us to the end of our contest. So that will do it from the Stutler Bowl. The final score of tonight's contest, the Cherry Creek Bruins 56, the Arapahoe Warriors 7. You'll hear more about this game this weekend on CCSN Weekend Update. Coming up next week, the Bruins have the Eagle Crest Raptors on Saturday at 1 o'clock. That game live on CCSN. We thank all of you for joining us on the Cherry Creek Sports Network tonight. Didn't get a chance to thank my crew tonight. It was Logan Biggerstaff, Ella Barclay, Jonathan Varghese, Mr. Matt Weiss, of course. And for Matthew Anderson, I'm Benjamin Paris saying good night from the Stutler Bowl. We'll see you next Saturday from Legacy Stadium.